Hey everyone, my name is Nathan Simmons, and I'm going to be showing you how to do the logging in and some different things on the desktop version of Agent Assist. And so, let's see here. So, what I'm going to be showing you today is really just how to access the Agent Assist version of the desktop. All right. So obviously, what you're going to need to do is go to coloniallife.com and you're going to log into Proper. And once you get there, there are a couple of different ways to access getting into the Agent Assist version. So where you're going to go, or where I typically go, is whenever you first log in, I go to Apps up here in the top right. And I actually have the Agent Assist web version right here saved as one of my favorites. And I'm going to show you real quick how to save one of your favorites. But what I'm going to actually be using is the training version of the Agent Assist app itself. This is something that you can use anytime you want to go around and just play around with the application, and you're not going to mess with any of the data. So, but the actual one that you would want to use that is going to sync up with the mobile app on your phone is going to be right here. However, it may not appear on yours as it does mine because I have mine saved as a favorite. So what you may have to do first is when you click on apps, is you're going to have to click view all apps, and you'll have to scroll down to wherever you can find Agent Assist Web, wherever it may be on this list, and it's in alphabetical order, and you're going to need to click the star on the left to make it turn into a gold star. And once you do that, it will be a favorite app on the Proper website. So as you can see, I have a couple of different favorites that I have on my website of Proper. And so that's where you would go. But again, I'm going to go into the training version, which is going to be pretty much the exact same thing. So once you're in here, again, what I'm going to cover is not only logging in, but also the dashboard and the settings part of the desktop version. So the first thing that I'm going to go to is, all right, so this is what my screen shows. It takes me to my leads page, but that's not what we're going to talk about today. Down here on the bottom left is the settings, and you can change what you want your default start page to be depending on whatever your preference is. And won't worry about talking about notifications, but I'm going to scroll down all the way down to the bottom of the settings, and I want to talk about this feature right here. So whenever you are first contracted as an agent with Colonial Life, and this is something that managers need to know as well. You cannot just go download the app on your phone from your Google Play Store or your Apple or the App Store if you have a Apple device. What you must do first is you must log into Proper. You need to get set up on Proper and be able to get access to that first. And once you get there, you then, depending on whatever kind of device you may have as far as your mobile phone, you would then click on either get it on Google Play, and that will take you to a separate page and allow you to install onto your Google account. Or if you have an Apple device, you would click generate link, and a QR code is going to pop up. It's going to be a unique QR code for that specific person. And you scan the QR code with your phone, the phone that you want to download the Agent Assist mobile app on. You scan it, and it will automatically start the download on on your mobile device. So that is the only way that you can get the app on your phone. You cannot go to the App Store and find it. So it is definitely something that you have to do in order to be able to get it on your phone. So now, once you've arrived there, you're going to be good to go. So, but scrolling back up through the settings piece of this, if I scroll down a little bit further, one of the things I want to talk about is the lead expiration timetable. So with the Agent Assist app, you have a certain time period that you're going to be allowed to work the businesses that you download or the leads that you may download. You don't get to just download them and keep them forever. If you don't make something happen, or we get it moving forward in our sales process, it will be released or expire, and it will go back out into the pool of leads for anybody else to download. Now, you could go re-download it again, but you're not going to be able to hold on to a specific lead forever and ever. So in order to keep a lead from expiring, you have to move it through the process. Now, once you download a specific business, that specific business, you're the only person in the entire Colonial Life organization that will be able to view that specific business. Nobody else will be able to see it or go claim it for themselves within the Agent Assist app. So, with the first step of our sales process, when we download a lead, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to want to qualify that lead. And what qualifying a lead is, we'll get, we'll talk about that in later videos that I create. But the qualifying piece of what we do, you essentially, if you're looking at this table, as far as North Texas stands, you're going to have 3 days to qualify a lead. So once you download a lead, it's considered a new lead. You haven't done anything to it. You're going to have to qualify that lead. And by qualifying, I mean we're going to reach out to that business by phone, or either we'll drop in in person to that business and ask them 3 questions. We're going to verify that the address that they're located is correct and that it is their main location. We're also going to ask who the person is at that place of business that makes the decisions. We will have a name that will tell us who that person is. We're basically just verifying that the name that it shows who's in charge at that business is actually the correct name. And then lastly, we're going to verify the number of employees that business is stated to have. Once we've verified those 3 pieces of information, we can then say that lead has been qualified. It's been verified by us. It's now going to move to the next stage. So you have 3 days to be able to qualify a business. If you don't qualify it in that time period, then it's going to go back out into the field for anybody else to download. Now, once you do qualify a certain business, you will then now have 7 days to be able to set an appointment with that business, the very first appointment that we will run. So one thing I want to make sure that we're all clear on with these timelines is the timelines that you see on the screen, they are all cumulative. So the 7 days that you see now, let's say I download a business today and I qualify it immediately. And so now it's no longer considered a new lead, it's now considered a qualified lead. What that basically means is I now have 7 days in addition to the 3 that I had in the first stage to set a first appointment. So at each new stage that you move this lead through, you are basically just tacking on the days that you have to be able to work that lead before it actually expires. So now all of these days that you're seeing here, they're days that are in reference to business working days, and that does not include national holidays, and it doesn't include counting weekends as well. So we've got plenty of time to make things happen with that. Now, one last thing that I'll say as far as the timing goes is that these time periods that I'm showing you or I'm discussing are not absolute. There are going to be the occasions where we might be meeting with a potential client that maybe wants us to meet with him at a later date that's outside of this time frame window. If that's the case, as long as we have an appointment that's set in the calendar to happen, we're still going to be considered actively working that lead. You shouldn't be worried about that lead expiring, because it shouldn't expire, because there's still something set to happen. And you can always double check that by looking at the actual lead page, or their individual leads page, and it will tell you the date of expiration for that specific business. Now, for some reason, if you need longer time to be able to work on a specific lead, let's say we go out and we run an appointment with a client, and that client says, I would love to visit with you again, but can we meet in 2 to 3 months? Well, that's going to be outside of our 50-day working window that we have here. And so one of the things that we can do is actually request an extension to say, hey, I need this lead until such and such date, because this business requested that they want to meet with me in 2 to 3 months. So that is absolutely something that we can do. And so again, these time periods are not set in stone, but don't take advantage of being able to request a extension on a lead, because if you're requesting 50 or 75 extensions at a time because you played video games for too long one week, and now you didn't have enough time to call, and now you've lost all your leads. Well, those extension requests are probably not going to be approved. So make sure that whenever you request an extension, that it's for a legitimate and good reason. So that's pretty much it as far as the setting page. That's important on the desktop version. And the last thing that I'll discuss is on the dashboard page, which is kind of the starting page for the Agent Assist web version. And it's really just a summary of your individual activity. And so, it'll show your daily activity that you'll have, how many calls you may have made in a certain day, or how many physical drops you've done, how many meetings you've ran, and how many emails you've sent. It'll also tell you any action items that you need to do for today, whether it be something that you've got set scheduled to happen, which on my version here doesn't have that, but it is telling me I have 2 overdue activities. So I can click what those activities are, and it may be a phone call that I missed. This one's telling me that I needed to make a phone call to this business that I had set for an individual time and date, and I did not accomplish. So you will get reminders on your dashboard on your dashboard page about specific instances of actions that need to be taken. So scrolling down a little bit further, you'll also see what your schedule may be for today as well, and you'll also get a list of expired leads, like I just talked about, that have expired in the last 7 days. So if for some reason you do have leads that expire, then you can quickly go reclaim them by looking at your dashboard page, and all you have to do is just click which businesses that you would like to reclaim or re-download. You don't have to go specifically search for them by each individual business name. You can just go here. But if you've had anything that's expired outside of that 7-day window, then you would have to go search for leads in another manner. So that's pretty much it for today. And the next step, we'll be talking about how to download specific leads by a specific business name.